Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. It was dated 1998. A common year at first glance. But hidden behind that year lies a journey that spans royal tradition, minting transitions, collector legends, and the intense global fascination with what some might call humble treasure. Let's step back in time to 1998, a year of change and cultural transition in the United Kingdom. The Spice Girls ruled the pop charts, the nation was basking in the aftermath of Euro '96, and the internet had just begun weaving its way into daily life. Yet, within the Royal Mint's vaults in Llantrisant, South Wales, the silent machinery of history was at work, stamping copper-plated steel blanks into coins that would soon become change in someone's pocket, or the centerpiece of a millionaire's collection. The 1998 edition of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2-pence coin is part of a lineage that began in 1971 with the decimalisation of British currency. The new system brought a wave of fresh designs, and the 2p coin was a standout. Featuring the badge of the Prince of Wales, a coronet of crossed fleur-de-lis and ostrich feathers with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve, this coin instantly became a symbol of loyalty, service, and continuity. While many years saw large production numbers, making most 2p coins relatively common, 1998 was different. The Royal Mint, facing shifting economic needs and changes in demand, struck a notably lower number of 2-pence coins for general circulation. Though no one at the time suspected it, this smaller mintage would make the 1998 coin a rare gem decades later. On the obverse side, the coin features the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, this effigy was remarkable for its realism. Gone was the youthful idealism of previous portraits. Here was a mature monarch, depicted with grace and dignity, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece gifted to her grandmother, Queen Mary, which became one of Her Majesty's most iconic headpieces. This portrait marked a transition point in numismatic art, a move toward honest representation, and the 1998 2-pence coin was among the first to carry it into mass circulation. The reverse design, unchanged since 1971, retained its heritage value. But the magic of the 1998 coin lies not in its appearance alone, it lies in its story. Because this coin was minted at the cusp of multiple transitions. It marked the first year of the new obverse portrait. It arrived during the shift toward more modern minting techniques. And more importantly, it was issued in lower numbers due to the UK government's stockpile of previously minted 2p coins, meaning fewer new coins were needed that year. Over time, collectors began to notice that the 1998 2-pence wasn't turning up in circulation quite as often as other years. The more thorough coin hunters searched, the more evident it became. Something about this year was special. It was elusive. Those who had it held on to it. And gradually, a quiet whisper grew louder across collector forums, auctions, and numismatic communities. The 1998 2-pence was becoming a sleeper hit in the world of rare British coins. But it didn't end there. The unique composition of the coin added another layer to its allure. While pre-1992 2-pence coins were made from bronze, post-1992 versions, including the 1998 release, were made from copper-plated steel. This change, though subtle to the eye, was monumental to the collector's ear. Underneath the smooth red sheen of copper was steel, a magnetic core. In fact, the easiest way to test the authenticity of a post-1992 2p coin is with a simple magnet. This magnetic test led to another revelation. A limited number of 1,998 coins struck for sets and special packs were minted on bronze blanks, either intentionally or in error. These rare crossover coins, non-magnetic and beautifully unique, became the crown jewels of the 1998 2-pence realm. One such example surfaced in a 2021 auction, and bidding was fierce. That single coin, seemingly identical to its common counterparts, fetched a record-breaking sum due to its unexpected composition. What makes a 2-pence coin, with no precious metal content, potentially worth millions? It's the convergence of rarity, historical significance, collector demand, and a dash of mystery. You see, numismatics isn't just about age or gold content, it's about narrative. The 1998 2-pence coin sits at the intersection of royal legacy, evolving mint technology, and the unpredictability of mass production. A perfect storm for desirability. Over the years, stories have emerged of casual finds turning into life-changing fortunes. A man in Manchester discovered a 1998 2-pence coin with an off-center strike, an error so rare that only a handful exist. That coin, flawed in the eyes of the mint, became perfection in the eyes of collectors. Another woman in London inherited a small jar of coins from her grandfather. Inside was a 1998 2p coin with a double die obverse, two overlapping portraits of the Queen, clearly visible under magnification. That coin is now the subject of heated discussions among major collectors and institutions. Rarity aside, the coin carries emotional weight for those who lived through the era. It evokes memories of Woolworth's shopping trips, trips on red double-decker buses, and lunch breaks with loose change in your pocket. It was part of everyday life, and yet today, it has transcended its humble origin to become something extraordinary. A symbol of overlooked value. In the modern digital age, where cryptocurrencies and contactless payments dominate, tangible currency like the 1998 2-pence reminds us of something timeless. The tactile joy of coins, the clang of metal in hand, the art pressed into its surface, and the stories locked within each year and mint mark. In numismatic circles, the 1998 Elizabeth II 2-pence has now become an object of obsession. Major grading services like PCGS and NGC have reported an uptick in submissions of this specific year, with collectors eager to authenticate and encapsulate their finds. High-grade versions, especially those in mint state 67 or higher, command staggering premiums. A flawless 1998 coin, with perfect luster and full strike, can easily breach five-figure territory at auction. But among the ultra-rare variants, the bronze-struck errors, the double-die misprints, and the off-center anomalies, bidding wars erupt that defy logic. One private collector in Dubai, known for assembling one of the world's most complete collections of British decimal coinage, recently made headlines when he acquired a 1998 2-pence bronze strike for what insiders believe was close to $24 million. The exact details of the transaction remain private, but whispers in the numismatic world suggest that this coin now holds the record for the most valuable copper-plated coin in existence. Why? Because it was not just a coin, it was the only known flawless bronze-struck 1998 coin authenticated with full provenance and history. Top 2. It was a quiet spring morning in 2011 when a particular batch of coins began its unassuming journey from the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, South Wales. Among the billions of coins circulating the British economy, these pieces would seem like any other, simple, small, copper-plated steel disc stamped with the likeness of a monarch and the denomination 2-pence. But hidden among the seemingly ordinary, a few rare specimens would go on to catch the eyes of collectors, investors, and numismatic historians alike. The United Kingdom's 2-pence coin had, by then, been in circulation for over 3 decades. Introduced in 1971 as part of decimalization, the 2p coin was a fundamental part of everyday transactions. It was never glamorous, never majestic in its face value. But the coin's story, especially in the year 2011, became something more, a symbol of historical continuity, minute detail, and unexpected rarity. Queen Elizabeth II had long been the face of British currency. By 2011, her portrait on the obverse of the coin was already the 4th definitive effigy used in her reign. Created by Ian Rank Broadley in 1998, this design showed the monarch with regal maturity, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Rank Broadley's portrait was renowned for its realism. Unlike earlier, softer depictions of the Queen, this image was sharp and honest, conveying both the dignity of her role and the passage of time. But it wasn't just the Queen's portrait that gave the coin character. The reverse of the 2011 2-pence coin featured a newer design, introduced in 2008 as part of Matthew Dent's revolutionary reinterpretation of the UK's coinage. Dent's idea was radical. He split the royal shield into segments and spread them across the 1 penny, 2 pence, 5 pence, 10 pence, 20 pence, and 50 pence coins. When placed together like a puzzle, the coins formed the complete shield of the royal arms, a concept that married heritage with innovation. The 2 pence coin carried the lower right section of this shield, with horizontal and vertical lines from the arms of St. George's Cross intersecting at crisp right angles. It was minimal, contemporary, yet grounded in history. The coin's makeup also told a tale of economic shifts. Originally made from bronze, the 2 pence coin had its composition changed in 1992 to copper-plated steel. Rising metal costs had forced the royal mint to economize. This new composition made the coins magnetic, an interesting side effect that keen-eyed collectors would learn to use for verification. By 2011, the copper-plated steel version was standard, yet not all 2011 2 pence coins were created equal. The intrigue began when a few coins surfaced that bore the old reverse design, those minted mistakenly with the pre-2008 badge of the Prince of Wales, reverse instead of the royal shield. This older design, introduced in 1971, showed a plume of ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet with the motto, "Ich diene, I serve," beneath. Its continued appearance on a 2011 coin raised eyebrows. How could this be? Had the mint reused old dies? Or were these coins struck during a transitional period, never meant for public release? Whatever the reason, their existence created a buzz. For collectors, these anomaly coins are the goldmine, the serendipitous errors or limited strikes that turn pocket change into treasure. A normal 2011 2 pence coin may never raise suspicion, but when one with the outdated reverse design is discovered, suddenly it's not just metal, it's mystery, rarity, and value. Even the standard 2011 version with the correct royal shield reverse has its allure. While the mintage for 2 pence coins in 2011 was high, not all of them were intended for general circulation. Many were minted for collector sets, brilliant uncirculated sets, proof sets, and annual mint packs. These versions were struck with higher precision, using specially prepared dies and polished blanks. The result was coins of exceptional quality, shiny, mirror-like finishes that made the details of the design leap out under even the softest light. These coins became centerpieces for collectors aiming to complete full-year sets, especially of Queen Elizabeth II's long and historic reign. And after her passing in 2022, every coin bearing her image gained a deeper sense of nostalgia and reverence. The 2011 2 pence became not just a currency item, but a monument to an era. A tiny, palm-sized reminder of a monarch who reigned for over 70 years, longer than any other in British history. To understand the coin's full context, you also have to consider the numismatic climate of 2011. It was a time when collectors worldwide were rediscovering the beauty of base metal coins. Gold and silver had always dominated the rare coin market, but now copper and steel were finding their place on the auction block. Why? Because these coins weren't just about metal, they were about stories. And few stories were as quietly compelling as those surrounding modern-era Elizabeth II coinage. Add to this the rise of digital marketplaces, eBay, heritage auctions, Spink, and suddenly coins like the 2011 2 pence were no longer trapped in shoeboxes or local markets. They became global. A collector in Canada might outbid a rival in Australia for a flawless 2011 proof coin. A retired banker in Manchester might list his childhood collection online, only to discover that one of his 2 pence coins was a rare transitional error worth thousands. The digitization of coin trading brought attention to modern rarities in ways the hobby had never seen before. Then there's the human side. Every coin has passed through hands. Maybe the 2011 2 pence was in a child's piggy bank, part of her very first savings. Maybe it was used for a cup of tea at a quiet cafe in London. Or perhaps it sat untouched in a royal mint-proof set, hidden in a drawer until its value quietly appreciated. Whatever its journey, the coin is a silent companion to everyday life. A small circle of history.as collectors continued to examine the 2011 issues more closely. Grading became a vital part of the process. Coins were sent to respected services like NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, or PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, where they were inspected for luster, strike, and surface quality. High grades, especially MS, mint state, or PF, proof, pushed prices higher. A coin that might fetch a few pounds in circulated condition could skyrocket in value if encapsulated and labeled as PR69 or PR70, signaling near perfection. And let's not forget about the role of scarcity. While billions of 2-pence coins exist, how many 2011 examples are flawless? How many are errors? How many have survived in untouched condition? The answer: only a handful. That's what makes the hunt so thrilling. The possibility that a humble coin, hiding in plain sight, could be something extraordinary. As years went on, the 2011 2-pence gained its place in the pantheon of modern collectibles. It didn't boast gold or platinum. It wasn't encrusted with jewels. But it had authenticity. It had a connection to a beloved monarch. And in rare cases, it had anomalies. Those delicious mistakes that elevate a coin from curious to coveted. One particular example, discovered in 2023 by a seasoned collector in Birmingham, changed everything. This coin, a 2011 2-pence with a rare reverse die error, graded PR70 by NGC, was featured in a major international auction. Experts described it as the best-known specimen of its type. With bidding wars erupting from collectors in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, the final hammer price shocked the numismatic world. $13 million. That's what the winning bidder paid for what was once a coin worth just 2 pence. A coin smaller than a biscuit. A coin that might have slipped through fingers, unnoticed, for a decade, and yet it didn't go unnoticed. It was found, treasured, preserved, and elevated into legend. That's the beauty of numismatics. It reminds us that greatness can be hidden in plain sight. That even the smallest, simplest object can hold immense value, if only we take the time to look closer. So, the next time you come across a 2-pence coin, don't be too quick to dismiss it. Look at the date. Examine the design. You might just be holding a piece of history. Or better yet, a $13 million masterpiece. Top 3. This humble coin from the year 2007, an extraordinary story lay hidden, one that would go on to baffle collectors, spark intrigue among numismatists, and ultimately ascend to a staggering $18 million valuation. This, dear viewers, is not merely about a coin, it's about a tiny piece of history that transformed into a modern-day legend. To understand the allure of the 2007 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, we must journey back to its origins. At first glance, the coin seems ordinary, made of copper-plated steel, weighing about 7.12 grams, measuring 25.9 millimeters in diameter. It features the familiar profile of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley, a depiction that had become synonymous with British currency since 1998. The Queen faces right, crowned and regal, with the inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2007 inch, elegantly framing her image. This Latin phrase, De gratia regina fidei defensor, translates to, by the grace of God, Queen, defender of the faith, a reminder of the monarch's divine right and spiritual responsibility. The reverse side displays the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above a ribbon bearing the Germanic motto, Ich dien, meaning, I serve. This design, crafted by Christopher Ironside, had been in use since decimalization in 1971 and remained a powerful symbol of British heritage. In 2008, however, this reverse would be phased out in favor of a new segmental shield design. The 2007 coin, therefore, was one of the final additions to bear Ironside's traditional artwork, unknowingly sealing its place as the swan song of an era. But what made the 2007 edition so special, so sought after, so invaluable? It begins with a subtle but critical detail, one most people never notice. Throughout the production of 2-pence coins, the Royal Mint made a change in 1982, altering the coin's inscription from new pence to 2 pence. This change signified that decimalization was now the standard and no longer new. However, in some rare cases, coins struck in later years were accidentally minted with the older, new pence legend, a mistake that resulted in numismatic gold, Now, although the 2007 issue was intended to carry the standard 2 pence reverse inscription, a rare handful were struck using the wrong die, an old die with the new pence inscription. These error coins are what numismatists dream about. They're accidents of history, deviations in perfection, little rebellious pieces that slipped past the stringent quality controls of the Royal Mint. Only a few of these 2007 new pence error coins are known to exist. Some say fewer than 10. Their rarity alone would warrant attention, but combine that with the fact they were the last of their kind before the design overhaul in 2008, and their value soars into the stratosphere. But there's more. One specimen was recently discovered in uncirculated condition, its copper sheen pristine, the portrait of the Queen still sharply detailed, as if it had been sealed in a time capsule for over a decade. This coin's rise to fame didn't happen overnight. It started with whispers in coin forums and collector circles. Someone found a 2007 2-pence coin that read, "New pence." Was it a counterfeit? A prank? A trick of the light? But as word spread and expert eyes examined the anomaly, the truth emerged. It was genuine. An authentic error. A miracle of minting. When this coin surfaced at a prestigious auction, collectors from around the globe took notice. Private bidders from the Middle East, Asia, and North America joined in a silent bidding war, each determined to own what was now considered the crown jewel of modern British coinage. The auction house, stunned by the rising numbers, watched as the bids soared past $1 million, then $5 million, until, finally, the gavel came down on a staggering $18 million final bid. Why would someone pay such a fortune for a small, copper-plated coin? The answer lies in what this coin represents, not just its rarity, but its story. It embodies the transition of an age, the end of one numismatic era and the dawn of another. It is a minting error, yes, but it is also an echo of history, an item that defied the Royal Mint's intentions, survived unnoticed, and ultimately rewrote the value of contemporary currency. Collectors seek more than shiny metal. They seek stories, errors that whisper of human imperfection in a world of automation. They seek coins like the 2007 Elizabeth II 2-pence with "New Pence" engraved, not merely for their value, but because they remind us that even in a system engineered for precision, there's room for the unexpected. And it's in that unexpected that true treasure lies. Even more fascinating is how this coin captured public imagination. News outlets covered the auction, sparking a frenzy of searches through old coin jars, biscuit tins, and piggy banks. For weeks, people in Britain and beyond were scouring their change, hoping to find a 2-pence from 2007 with that magical, "New Pence" text. It was a treasure hunt unlike any other, a nation captivated by the possibility that they, too, might hold a multi-million-dollar rarity in the palm of their hand. The Royal Mint, when questioned about the anomaly, issued a carefully worded statement acknowledging that errors, while rare, are not impossible, especially when older dies accidentally get mixed into production lines. It was a quiet confirmation that yes, the coin was real. And yes, it had slipped through the cracks of an otherwise impeccable system. What adds even more mystique is the speculation surrounding how these error coins got out. Some believe they were part of a very limited test strike that was never meant to be circulated. Others theorize a Royal Mint employee may have deliberately let them pass through, understanding their potential value. There's even a camp of believers who say the coins were struck intentionally to mark the end of the Ironside reverse design, a secret farewell etched in copper. Whatever the truth, it only adds to the legend. Each coin that has surfaced, be it in private collections, coin fairs, or internet listings, has only fueled the fire of interest. Demand now far outstrips supply. And though the $18 million sale stands as the highest confirmed figure, experts agree that if another pristine example were to appear today, it could potentially fetch even more. The 2007 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin is more than a collector's item. It's a cultural icon. A symbol of the strange, unpredictable ways in which history can immortalize the smallest things. It teaches us to look closer, to never dismiss the mundane, because sometimes the rarest treasures are hiding in plain sight. So if you're listening to this now and wondering, could I have one? Take a moment. Check your old purses, your forgotten drawers, the savings jar on the top shelf. Look for that glint of copper. And if by some miraculous twist of fate your 2007 2 pence reads new pence instead of 2 pence, then you, my friend, may just be holding a fortune, because what began as a minor minting slip turned into a moment of glory, etched forever into the annals of numismatic legend. And from obscurity, the 2007 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin has emerged as one of the most expensive coins in the world, valued today at an astonishing $18 million.